Paper wallet cold storage is considered one of the most secure ways of storing the access to your crypto. So let's take a look at how XWP is doing their paper wallets. Private keys, mnemonic seeds, private spin keys, etc. are all for your eyes only and should not be shared with anyone. No support personnel will ever ask you for your private keys. No real support personnel, right? Scammers, yes, but not anyone that is actually associated with the project. They'll never ask you for your private keys or seed words, so just ignore that. Don't fall for stuff like that. They're never going to ask for it. The only piece of information you should ever share is your public key, and that is only if you are requesting a transaction to be sent to it. This is a privacy coin. XWP is a privacy coin, so even your public address should be somewhat private and only shared with the people that you want to actually send crypto to that address. So keep all this in mind as we go through this whole thing. Understanding paper wallets requires you to understand when you store crypto, there is nothing physically happening. Your crypto is on the blockchain since that's the only place it can exist in reality. Your private wallet information, seed words, mnemonic phrase, private key, is just your mathematical or computational access, your cryptographic password to access that crypto. If someone has your private view key, and in the case of a lot of privacy coins, they have what's called a view key. If you have a private view key, or if someone else has a private view key, has your private view key, they'll be able to see your balance and transactions, but they won't be able to do much with your crypto. They won't be able to do anything with your crypto itself. While it is a bit confusing, a real paper wallet that offers the most security will not be connected to the blockchain at all or ever if you are storing the crypto long term. And by real paper wallet, I mean it has never even touched the blockchain or an internet connected computer at all. And some of you might be saying, well, how is that even possible? And we're going to get to that in a few minutes. While they are far more secure than online wallets, they are not ideal for sending or other active use such as trading due to being a little cumbersome, right? So a paper wallet is really intended for long-term storage. Maybe it's your main wallet that maybe you have other wallets on other devices and then you send from those to that paper wallet or the paper wallet address, right? So that's a pretty secure setup, and we're going to talk about a couple of different ways of doing this and different ways of securing your crypto with a paper wallet. So in the case of XWP has really focused a lot on wallet development. They have a lot of wallets. The only thing that they really don't have right now is an iOS wallet, but that's in progress as well. If you go to XWP.1, make sure it's a secure website, make sure the certificate is valid. Make sure you're on XWP.1, ONE, and that's their website. Once you're there, you would go to wallet downloads, and you can see all the different types of wallets that they have and support here. In our case, because this is we're going to be doing the paper wallet, we're going to click on mobile and light wallets, and then right here you see this paper wallet section here. And it's got a generator. You can either generate local or you can generate online. And if you think about what you're doing here, you are creating an address that can be used on the blockchain with the appropriate private key or mnemonic phrase, however they do it with these two options here. But if you do it online, it's not nearly as secure if you do it offline. So we're going to go over the online method first. So you would click on generate online, and then boom, now you have a wallet address, private spin key, private view key. The spin key is more private, in my opinion, than the view key. The view key, like I said earlier, can only be used to view the crypto, view the balances and transactions, I believe. I think it can do transactions as well. So if I were to make a recommendation here, I would probably move private view key up here, right? Because in this case, it looks like the spin key is less important, right? To protect. It's closer to the public wallet address is what I'm getting at. In my crazy mind, my scatterbrained mind here, I'm thinking that this should be up here just so that it's in a better order, but whatever. And then you got mnemonic seed and private view key. And then if you wanted to actually use the pseudo random number generator functions of the browser, you could enter in a phrase here to generate a new wallet so that you can feel more comfortable that it is truly random, right? So you could enter in a really long, it's got to be pretty long here, and then you'll see the warning go away. So once the warning's gone away, you can just click new wallet. Brave is going to ask you are you sure you want to do that, because whatever's on the screen will not be recoverable. We're not going to use it, of course, so I'm just going to click OK, and then boom, now we have a brand new wallet and everything is good to go. Now, we're doing this online. This is a website that we're doing this. So there is a way of being even more secure. This is pretty secure, but there is a way of getting even more secure, and that's to do it offline. So we're going to close that. We're going to go generate. Generate local on the local PC, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But basically, they have two different methods. They have two different web-based. I mean, it's a local web page HTML code. So let's go ahead and click on generate local. It's going to want to download a file, the zip file. So we're going to download that. Then we're going to open up that folder where the full file is downloaded to, and you can see right here where it says swap paper wallet generator master. So we're going to extract that. We'll just extract it in place here, and then you see you have two HTML files here. So if you double click on the top one, just the generator, not the alternative, but if you double click on this one, then you can see this is the, now if you look, this is offline because let me pull this down so you can actually see the address here. So this is on my C drive, right? So this is happening on the C drive. It's not necessarily a web page, even though it's HTML code, but you can see here that it's actually a file and it's not doing anything online. So I hope that makes sense, what we're looking at here. Okay. So it's asking me to move my mouse around to create a random string of characters. So that's what I was doing. You saw the little counter here that was counting down. So now we have an address. We have a public address. We've got the view key. Now everything underneath of the public, the view key, and this definitely the spin key, and you can actually see how they highlight it right here as well. Spin key, keep private, but view key is kind of, they didn't put a little disclaimer on there to keep it private. But if you don't want people to know how much crypto RC transactions that are in this address, then you want to keep the view key private as well. Okay, now what we are going to do now, that was one method. They have two different methods for the offline method. Okay, so that's one way. We're going to leave this. We're going to go back to our extracted file, and we're going to go with the alternative. It just looks a little different. It generates a new swap address, much like the other one. This one has, the other one didn't have mnemonic seed. Okay, so the other one, whenever we generated that wallet, I don't believe it had a mnemonic seed. Let's find out real quick. Yeah, it's only got the three things. It's got the public address, the view key, and the spin key, and that's it. All right, so I'm gonna leave that open. We might use that in a minute. So this has the wallet address, private spin key, private view key, the seed, and then you can also do the pseudo random number generator from the browser to generate the wallet address as well. I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. But these two methods, and this is also offline. So this is, you can see right here, it is the C drive also, much like the last one. And so we did this. That's a little bit, that's like one step closer to being fairly secure with generating an address. But there's a few other steps that we could take. One is to have an offline computer, literally a computer that is no network connection, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. It will not connect to the network at all, right? Even if it's like a old Windows 7 machine or something, as long as it boots up, then that's all you need, right? Because you can take these two files, or take one of these files, put it on a thumb drive or a disk, snickernet it over to the standalone, disconnected, never to be connected to the network asset, workstation, computer, and actually run this from the storage, whether it's USB or CD or whatever. You might have to copy it to the hard drive of that machine, and then you run it over there, and you get to this situation here where it has generated an address completely offline. It has not even touched the network at all, but cryptographically it'll work. The wallet address is going to work. You'll be able to send to it and everything. So that would be the next level of security, right? Is to have a completely offline machine. Now, in order to sync it, you would have to get the blockchain over there on that machine, and have it sync. Actually, you would have to import. There's a lot more steps to this, but you would have to import this into a wallet if you wanted to actually sync it. But I'm going to show you something kind of neat here, though, because let's say that you're a mining operation, for example. Okay, so you're mining swap, and you're mining it with a huge farm or whatever, or you've been mining it for a long time with your small farm, and you want to secure this or create a situation where it's fairly secure, but you want to also be able to monitor it, right? You want to be able to at least see that the payments are going to that address, and it's hard to do that if the address is on a machine that's disconnected, right? So it could be difficult to monitor to see, because this is a privacy coin too, so you can't just use a blockchain explorer to check it out to see if the transactions are going. You have to have that private view key and able to actually watch the transactions and watch the balance, right? So what I'm getting at is we could, in the case of Swap anyway, Swap has a really cool feature here. They have the Light Web Wallet. So let's just say that we had a mining operation and we were using this address right here. Okay, now obviously, you would need to document all this, write it down and all that stuff. I covered that in previous videos. I'm kind of assuming that that this is private information here, except for the wallet address and a little bit on the private spin key side. But you wouldn't want private view key side. You wouldn't want just anybody to have this. You see how I did that mentally? I was thinking that because this is closer in the list to this address, that this was less secure or less important than this, and it's not. So see, I just did that. It was totally what I was explaining earlier with the organization of this list here. Anyway, all right, so enough of that. Yeah, so you got the address here, and let's say that you're mining to this address with a lot of rigs, a lot of hash power, whatever, and you're getting a lot of rewards. But you have done this, you've generated this on an offline asset. Well, what you could do is write down the private view key, okay, from the wallet that pretend that we generated this on a standalone asset. So you have the private view key. Then you can go to the web wallet, the Light Web Wallet. We're going to go view online. And then we're just going to click login. And there's a few different ways of logging in. Probably the easiest, the simplest way would be to use the view key. But we also need the address as well, because you have to match those up. So we're going to go copy on the address that we're mining to. We're going to click on address and private key over here. In this case, we could use a mnemonic seed also, because it's in that particular wallet. this method gives you the mnemonic seed, right? So you could do that, but in our case, we're just going to use the address and the private spin key. So we're going to click on address and private key. We're going to paste in our address, and then you can see right here, private view key, and then private spin key optional, right? So you don't have to have the spin key, because if you do put that in here, then you're going to be able to transfer funds or crypto in and out of this address, out of the address if you have a spin key. So if you're just wanting to monitor your mining address, then this is what you would use, most likely. So we're going to go private view key, copy that, paste it in there. Now obviously if you are getting this information off of a standalone asset, you're not going to be copying and pasting. You're going to have to write this down and then get it over to, you know, the computer that is connected to the network or the internet, so that you can go to the web wallet. All right, so now once you have your address in there and the private view key, we can click enter my account. It's going to ask which transactions you want to import. I'm going to say, I know that there's not any, so we'll just do recent. Import recent transactions. In a few seconds, it'll go to the wallet, I think. And there we go. So now we are viewing the wallet. We don't have a way of sending, but yeah, it would let you see the view only wallets can't send any transactions. That's supposed to be send. As spin key is unknown. Okay, so you can see the transactions, and that's it. So that is what you would want if you had an offline cold storage paper wallet on another machine, and you can view it from anywhere in the world using that method that we just went through. So that is cool stuff. I think that it's really neat what they've done with the web wallet. Being able to actually have that view key is kind of cool. I'm thinking about setting up my little mining operation to something similar to this. More to follow on that. I think that this is cool stuff, and I hope you guys got something out of this with the whole paper wallet situation. You know, you can also print them out, you know, from the standalone machine. If you plug in a printer, you can print it out, store that paper, the actual paper wallet, in a safe, so that it's protected in that way, so that you have a backup of it, right? So yeah, it's a little bit more cumbersome, but it's one of those things where security and convenience are inversely proportional. So if you increase the security, which is what we're doing in this case, then the convenience is going to go down a little bit, right? So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Smash the like on the way out. Subscribe if you like it. Share it. All that stuff. I will see you guys tonight. Stay savage.